come up for air. Show you what it looks like. They're perfectly fine to pick up like this. Although they don't really climb around on these. I've never seen them climb around on the sticks much. I'll let you show you a little sample. If they said, oops, looks like he fell off. Let's wake up Mr. Sleepy just to give you an idea what these guys look like. Oop, there we go. Now I got him hopping. Don't hop around too much. Because who the hell is waking me up? Come on, little buddy. They're so cute. Now, you don't want this to happen. You don't want them to get out. So ordinarily I have a screen on, but I took it off for filming. Get back in your thing. That's much better. And there you can see the yellow in between his legs. I deliberately put this wood in which has all the knotty textures. It's one of those trees with the multicolored bark. Camouflage pretty nicely on this wood. Froggy's hopping back to where he was sleeping. Went right back to his corner where he loves to be during the daytime. Okay, I made wooden frames and I put screen onto them so the air gets in but the frogs can't. You have to make sure it's a nice tight fit around the edges. And I have had one of my tree frogs escape once, and for months it survived in my basement, and it was doing incredibly well. It actually got very fat. I have a lot of cave crickets in my basement. Matter of fact, I caught a few, and I'm raising them, and I feed them to these animals. Cave crickets are wild crickets. They're more robust, a little bit more aggressive. They'll actually eat other insects. Okay, the other maintenance thing you'll have to deal with is, on occasion, all the gravel that's here, you know, the water fills this whole thing up, the water circulates through, gets sucked up by a pump here, squirts it out down through the creek. I'll show you the creek. I understand this kit is no longer sold commercially. Maybe there's some alternative people can write in. I'm not familiar with it nowadays, but it would cost $60, but it was worth it. And it provides, you know, for the amphibians, they have to have access to the water. Good flowing water, lots of moisture. Their skin dries out, so just plopping into the water is not enough. I mean, what I'm saying is it's better to have a flowing creek, so that's why these things are set up like that. So newts, frogs, toads, they just love this kind of setup. So if you're into reptiles, amphibians, this is a nice setup like this. And these are water plants. I can't remember the species, but you see them everywhere in all the pet stores, and they will grow in just nothing but water. So their roots do very well down into this gravel and water. Works fine. Another plant is the what's it called? The arrowhead plants. I don't have any now. I've had them in the past. And you buy the arrowhead plants, and you totally will wash away all the soil from the roots and put them in there. There's only a few plants species that will do that. Right now I'm happy with the underwater plants, but have a nice arrowhead plants right up here. Would be nice in the future. Yeah, you can, if you want, if you look up my photo albums, you can see how I've had this set up in the past several years with different plants. Look up Skylord's albums. Skylord's albums, and you'll come up with You can look up my Terrarium Vivarium album. Over the years I've had some really nice plants and other things in there. You can see all the crazy animals I've kept over the years. In the past I actually had it set up that there was a cave. That is, I had part of a milk carton and I had to cut maybe a third of it off, so it created a natural cave and the creatures could go in. But the problem was, it worked so darn well, they wouldn't come out much. So I took it away. I like the way it's set up now, that they go in underneath the bridge, underneath the creek, and that's dug out, so they have water in there, and they like to hang out there too. These little animals like to have the feeling of hiding and being safe. They don't like to be out and exposed, because that's just their wild instincts. I also have a cricket frog in there, caught from the wild. I don't know where he's hiding out now, but you can see him in on some of my other videos. The tree frogs have suction cups. They do not have webbed hands. So they have like individual digits which can spread out, made for grasping trees and branches. That's how they differ from the water frogs. Fun little guys. Here's the fire-bellied toad. It finally came out, and notice with the green and the black spots on this moss, he's pretty well camouflaged. He's hard to see. Oh, the other one's there too. Good. These guys are a little bit aggressive. They, that is, they will really wrestle with each other when it comes to eating time. They don't want one to have an advantage over the other. I encourage anybody to read up on their frogs before they buy them. I've been pretty lucky that mine have not been making too much noise. I think both of mine are female. If you had a male, I think you'll hear it croaking quite a bit. But again, read up on that to find out for sure. I haven't had a problem, but I've been lucky. I want to show you the underside. I'll put him up against the glass. Come on, show me your belly. There he is. Let's see if I can turn him around here. I normally don't handle them much. I'm not going to like this. Okay, there you go. You can see the underside of him. And that's actually pretty orange. You just can't tell right now.